Hi everyone, today is May the 15th. It's a lovely Thursday. I was about to say Wednesday. Anywho, it's a lovely Thursday. I hope y'all have had a blessed day so far today and everything is going good for you. But I wanted to do a quick chit chat with y'all. If you are new here, I am Yvonne Boulevard and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I know that you will like it here. And also to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so happy to have you all here. So, stretching for me is a form of mindset. Mindset is something that I practice, and I might practice mindset differently from the next person who practices mindset. So I look at mindset like this: how you think. If you think negative, like, oh, I'm gonna have a bad day today, I'm not gonna like today is just gonna be a crazy day, like you're not gonna get work done. And if you think like that, you might not get your work done. But if you stop for a second and you think like this: I need to reset my mind on positive thinking. Okay, today is going to be a good day. I'm going to get work done. I'm going to prioritize my time. Mindset to me is very important. So earlier today, I was like, I don't want to go into work. And then I had to change my mind and say, okay, I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna get my job done because I know my job. I'm just thinking lazy. So I changed my mindset to thinking more positive and being happy that I got up out of my bed this morning and I went to work. I have a job to do. There are people who need me to show up to work and do my job. So what did I do? I got up this morning, got ready for work, and I was on my way to work and I finished my work. But before I even made it through the door at work, I was saying to myself, oh, I just want to turn back around and go home and just go to sleep. It was just one of those lazy mornings where I didn't want to get out of the bed this morning, and I was just feeling like I did not want to work. But before I walked into the workplace, I changed my mind frame and I set my mind on positive thoughts like, okay, I'm here at work, I'm on time, I'm gonna get my assignment done on time, I'm gonna do what I'm told by following whatever work assignment my boss give me for the day. And once I changed my mindset to thinking positive and not thinking about like going back home and getting in my bed and going to sleep, I got my job done. And I can pat myself on the back and be like, wow, I did it today. But I had to change my mindset. And mindset also plays a role for me in daily stretching. Now, let me tell you this, when I was younger, when I was about 4 or 5, I was very flexible. And I remember from that age of being 4 and 5, every day I would stretch, every single day, because I felt in my heart, if I continue to stretch every single day, I will stay flexible, okay? But as I got older, I stopped stretching every single day and I've lost a lot of my flexibility. But don't get me wrong, I still have flexibility, because once you're flexible and then you stop stretching and being flexible, you still have some type of flexibility, although you're not like super flexible the way you used to be back in the days. So I'm gonna tell y'all this, my mindset every single day now is to stretch, to get back my flexibility that I used to have when I was younger. Now let me tell you this, I'm 39 years old, and after I stretched on the floor today and got up, I was like, ooh, my body just feels different. Because when I was a little younger, I could sit down and stretch and just jump right back up. But I'm getting older, so I had to take my time getting back up. But throughout the years of me not properly stretching every single day, that's probably why I have to take my time getting up, you know, from the floor after stretching. Or it could be age. That's why I have to like take my time getting up. Because I'm gonna tell you this, sometimes it's not easy sitting down on the floor. Like I have to grab something to push myself up. All I have to say is this: if I was to sit down on the floor right now, I take my time. And I think that it's wise to take your time whenever you sit down on the floor. And besides that, I want to be careful not to pull a muscle or anything. But I'm back to stretching every single day because sometimes when I try to sit down on the floor, it's not easy. I have to take my time. I have to do like this, like lean up against the wall and, you know, scoot down. I shouldn't do that, but it could be I'm 39 years old. I'm not as young as I used to be, but I look at it like this. If I was stretching every single day like I was when I was 4 years old, I would just sit down on the floor without a problem. But then I don't know, it could be age. So this is why I'm back to stretching every single day. I felt in my heart ever since I was a little girl at the age of 4 years old that stretching was mindset for me. Like that was my mindset, to stretch. But to be honest with y'all, stretching, it clears my mind. It makes me feel good. Next, I want to talk about detachment. Detachment from things, or you can detach from people. Now, when you detach from people, it's not being petty. Detachment to me is a form of self-love. Detachment is not selfishness, but it can come off as being selfish. When you detach yourself from people or things, you learn to focus on you, and you might see that you may not be a priority in other people's lives. So when you detach, you see where you stand sometimes with other people. Now, it could be your friends, it could be a company that you work for. Like, okay, for example, you can detach from your job. Like, you don't necessarily quit your job, but you stop going above and beyond to pick up every work shift that's available. You give other people an opportunity to pick up work shifts instead of you trying to work all the work shifts that are available. So you just learn to take care of your priorities first by doing your job and giving others a chance to pick up the work shifts instead of you feeling like, oh, you have to pick this shift up. Well, it's good to pick up work shifts because, of course, your job may need you. Now, I might not make any sense to y'all, but all I'm trying to say is when you detach from like picking up extra work shifts, I look at it like this: you're just giving your other coworkers the opportunity to pick up extra work hours instead of you taking all the available shifts, because you never know, you may have coworkers who might need extra work hours. Now, don't get me wrong, there was times when some of my coworkers came up to me and they were like, thank you so much for picking up those extra shifts because I wasn't able to pick up the shift, but thank you. And I was like, oh, it's no problem. I'm able to pick up the shift. So we talked about detachment from work, you know, picking up extra work hours. Now we're going to talk about detachment from people. Now, sometimes you may always be that person, you're checking on everybody, but nobody ever checks on you. Now, this is not being petty, okay? So once you step back away from people who do not value your friendship, you start to focus on you. And once people realize your presence is not there with them anymore, they'll feel it. And they'll be like, wow, you're not around us anymore. Like, what's going on? They might call you and be like, hey, whenever you get a chance, give me a call and let's talk. You know, what's been going on with you? And that depends if that person is really your friend. Now, sometimes you just have to detach yourself from people who are petty. Every time they talk to you, they find something petty to say, or sometimes they might start arguments, they might start rumors. So what do? You detach yourself from those type of people, and then you realize that your energy is good because you're not around negative energy. Now, when you're around negative energy, you can feel it. You can feel when somebody's being petty towards you. You can feel when somebody is drama and always like trying to start arguments and saying he say, she say stuff. It's like a negative energy that you feel around you. But once you step back and detach yourself from those type of people, you feel more positive. And then what do? You start doing more positive things. You find like activities to do. You go places. You might travel. You may even make new friends. And these new friends that you make, they're positive people. And whenever you're around them, the energy is so positive. And then the ones that were being negative to you, on the other hand, either they come back and they try to like rebuild y'all friendship, especially if they valued the friendship. They might own up and say, hey, I'm sorry for being petty towards you, but you know what? You have always been a positive person. Can we continue to be friends? Can you give me a chance again to be your friend again? And you might be friends with them again because that person changed and they're not so petty towards you. And they realize that, hey, you stepped away. You walked away from all the negativity. Sometimes when you walk away from negativity, the ones that were negative towards you, they'll try to come back into your life. Now, when you detach yourself from people, it's not a petty thing. Some people might look at it as being petty. You don't have to be petty to nobody. So I just want to say this, y'all. Detachment is healthy for your mental. Well, I know detachment is healthy for my mental because I'm not attached to things or people I necessarily don't need to be attached to. Now, when my mother was alive, I was attached to my mom. And the reason why I was attached to my mom was because she was my mom. My mom was my best friend. And when I moved out of her house into my first condo, I remember I thought I was grown and stuff, and I'm working, just doing my own thing, grocery shopping, buying furniture for my house and all that stuff. And I remember a week went by and I felt in my heart to call my mom, but then I was like, nah, I'll go see her next week. And then on that Sunday, the 7th day, my mom called me and she was like, I haven't heard from you. What's going on with you? Like, we would talk like we were best friends. And I loved my attachment that I had with my mother. Now, some of us, we might have attachments to our best friends. So, in all, detachment is good for my mental health because I'm not so quick to attach myself to people who come into my life trying to be my friend, because I know that some people will change on you. The minute that a person change up on me after they try to be my friend and they're being cool and then they start being messy, I instantly step back and walk away. I am not instantly attached to someone who was trying to be my friend, but in the beginning they turned out petty. See, because once you turn on me, start being petty, dramatic, and drama, I will not be your friend. That's just how I am. And it's not being petty. It's just that, hey, I have to protect my peace because I'm a peaceful person, and the friends that I have, they are peaceful people, and they do not start rumors. They are not petty. If they are being petty, they will acknowledge you by saying, hey, you know what? I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't mean what I said. And I like to surround myself around people who are similar to me in a way, like they will call themselves out if they knew that they were in the wrong, or they'll even call me out if I was in the wrong. And if they were in the wrong saying something, I'll call them out, and they will not get offended easily, okay? So I'm the type of person you can be honest with me and I'll be honest with you. Like I told y'all before, detachment is good for your mental health. And I'm gonna tell you why. And this is from my own personal experience. Now, there are people that I know, and I've been knowing some of these people for a long time. So whenever they have a barbecue or take a road trip, and if these people do not invite me, I do not take it personal because I am not attached to them, okay? And I've noticed that some people I know, they get very emotionally attached to people. And I remember a long time ago, one of my friends was telling another friend of mine, she was like, you have to stop getting emotionally attached to people. That's what she told one of our friends. And it is true, because sometimes when you meet people, you might get an expectation out of them. You might want them to speak to you every day. And then if they have a barbecue, you want them to invite you to a barbecue. And they might not even be thinking to invite you to a barbecue because they might feel like, you know what? I know that this person is friendly and this person seemed like they can be a good friend, but I don't know them that well, so I'm not gonna invite, you know, that person to the barbecue. And then you don't get invited. You hear other people talking about the barbecue, and then you're thinking, wow, well, I was cool with that person. How come she didn't invite me? Maybe because she don't consider you a friend yet. And I feel like if you take it personal, that you attached yourself to that person in a way. But if you didn't attach yourself to that person, you wouldn't take it personal that you didn't get invited to that person's barbecue. Sometimes we just gotta get to know people, because you never know, that person probably made new friends and those new friends turned out to be petty. So I think with friendships, you gotta give friendships time. And a lot of my friends, I've been knowing them for years. And trust me, we had our ups and downs. There was times when I thought that they were petty. And another thing, some people can get attached to social media. And what do they call it? Parasocial friendships. You may think that a YouTuber is your friend, but that YouTuber does not know you in real life. Probably see your comments, but don't really pay attention to you. And they may reply to your comments. It's like you're friends with someone on the internet. You don't know them in real life, and you think that you're best friends with them in a way. I don't know. Some people have parasocial friendships on YouTube. And then sometimes people have friendships here on YouTube and they become real friends with these people on YouTube. But on social media, you can get attached to people, and you might get attached to people to where you feel like you're cool with them, and you might expect them to comment all the time on your videos. I don't know if parasocial friendships is the same as attachment, but anyways, when you have a parasocial friendship here on YouTube, I think that it is, in a way, a form of attachment, because you might feel like you know that YouTuber's whole life, you know them, y'all are besties. Every time you comment on their video, they reply back. That person seems cool, but in reality, that person really does not know you, unless y'all become real friends in real life. And sometimes YouTubers make friends here on YouTube, but some people never become friends with YouTubers that they follow. And so they're in this parasocial friendship with this YouTuber, and that YouTuber might not even know who they are, okay? So I feel like when you build a parasocial friendship with a YouTuber you never met, you're like attached to that YouTuber in a way because you feel like you're that YouTuber's bestie, you know their story, when they just told you half of their story. Because a lot of times YouTubers just show you what they want to show you on their YouTube channel, and then you have YouTubers, they tell you their whole life story. I'm gonna say attachment in some YouTubers, because some YouTubers might go into YouTube and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna support other people's channels, show them support. And then if they don't show me support back, I'm not gonna support them. Okay, I think that that is a form of attachment, okay? Because going into supporting other people's channel, and then when you feel like nobody's supporting you, you're not gonna support them. I think that that's attachment issues. Okay, now, as content creators, we don't know what people have going on in their personal life. Sometimes people might take days or weeks or maybe a month to respond back to people. Sometimes humans take things personal if they do not get a response from people, because you have some content creators, they feel like if you don't support them back, they will not support you. But look at it like this, y'all. There's people in this world, they have jobs, they have a lot of things going on in their life outside of YouTube. So we never know what people are going through. And I feel like some content creators can be attached to other content creators. Now, there's nothing wrong with being attached to people on social media, because you have your favorite YouTubers and you might become real friends with those YouTubers in real life because you're a YouTuber too. Okay, I want to give an example. Let's call the YouTuber John. John sees this new content creator here on social media, and he's like, oh, his content is cool. Let's call this other content creator Mark. Okay, so he comments on Mark's video like, hey, I'm here, I'm watching, you know. And every time when Mark upload, John comments on Mark's channel. Now, Mark does not comment on John's channel a lot the way that John comments on Mark's channel. So John gets kind of hurt and feels like, oh, since Mark does not comment on my channel the way that I comment on his channel, I'm gonna stop supporting him. Now, that's a sign of attachment. Okay, y'all might agree with me and you might not agree with me. You might not like what I'm talking about right now. Now, I want to give a disclaimer. This is not meant to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm just trying to be transparent as I can. Y'all might not agree with me, and then some of you might agree with me. But in John's heart, he feel like, okay, if I comment all the time on Mark's content here on social media, Mark could do the same for me. Now, you have some content creators, they support each other a lot. Every time one content creator uploads a vlog or an Instagram post, that friend content creator go comment. So they comment back and forth on each other's social medias, okay? And then you have some content creators like Mark. Mark has a job. Mark has things going on in his life outside of social media. See, John does not know Mark. John has high expectations from people because John is very supportive of others. John is very invested in supporting people on social media who he follow or discover and try to build friendships with. But all I'm trying to say is, y'all, if someone does not comment on your YouTube channel or your Instagram page, although you befriended them on social media by following them and then they follow you back. It does not mean that that person does not support you. That person could be working a 9-to-5. That person could be busy creating content. That person could just have things going on in their life, because who knows? I mean, you don't know the person. You just met them on social media, and they may not have the time like other creators to comment on other people's posts or YouTube vlogs that they follow, you know? So we have to learn to detach ourselves from expectations from people a lot. It might take Mark a month to respond to John, you know, because Mark is probably thinking, you know, oh, John is cool, his content is cool, but I'm focusing on my content and I'm trying to, you know, grow on social media, okay? But it does not mean that that person is ignoring you or they're not supporting you. It's just that some people don't have a lot of time to, you know, respond back to people who support them. You know, you might get a response later. So it's just so important for your mental health not to get so attached to expectation, even on social media as a content creator, because some content creators, they feel like if you don't respond back to them, they not going to support you. And I think that that's not a nice way to think. I really think that it's not nice doing that, because first of all, you're attaching yourself to people with high expectations. You know, some people may respond to you, and then some people, they might need time to respond to you. And then some people, they might not even see your comment and stuff. You just never know what people are going through. And I just feel like if you were really supporting someone without having high expectations, you wouldn't take it so personal. So I say that to say, when you go into content creating with high expectations from others, sometimes you might get your feelings hurt, because you may see that some people are not super invested in being this seen person, like, hey, I'm here every time a person upload a post to their Instagram page or YouTube channel. You know, some people have the time to be there every day and every night whenever somebody upload a post to their YouTube channel or Instagram page, and they're like, hey, I'm here. And then some people just have things going on in their life and they might not have the time to respond. And I feel like that does not mean that that person does not support you. But when you go into trying to make friends and connect with people on social media like Instagram or YouTube, and you feel like, okay, if this person is not gonna always comment on my videos or my posts, I'm not gonna support them. I think that that is kind of petty. Y'all might not like what I'm saying. I think that that's petty. I think that that's wrong. And just know this, everybody's different. Some people might be like you, where they have the time to show up every time a post is uploaded to your page so that they can comment. And then there are some people, they just have things going on in their life. Learn to not have so much high expectation and know that everybody is different. People have lives outside of social media. Then you won't be so attached and quick to feel like no one supports you. Now, please, everybody, I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. I'm just speaking from my point of view. And yeah, and you might not agree with me, and you might agree with me. And I feel like a lot of people are entitled to their own opinion, but I'm gonna keep this short. I gotta go take my jog, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.